Well, here's another breaking story up on the Drudge Report. Reuters. Listen to this, folks. I mean, honest. Details of a U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration program that feeds tips to federal agents and then instructs them to alter the investigative trail were published in a manual used by agents of the Internal Revenue Service for 2 years. The practice of recreating the investigative trail, highly criticized by former prosecutors and defense lawyers after Reuters reported it this week, is now under review by the Justice Department. 2 high-profile Republicans have also raised questions about the procedure. Why aren't high-profile Democrats raising questions about the procedure? You can't destroy the investigative trail. People have a right to due process, including you if you're being audited by the IRS or prosecuted by the IRS. You don't alter the investigative trail. A 350-word entry in the Internal Revenue Manual instructed agents of the U.S. Tax Agency to omit any reference to tips supplied by the DEA's Special Operations Division, especially from affidavits, court proceedings, or investigative files. The entry was published and posted online in 2005 and 2006 and was removed in early 2007. The IRS is among 24 arms of the government working with the Special Operations Division, including the FBI, the NSA, and the Central Intelligence Agency. And we have damn fools all over TV and radio and the print media defending all this crap. An IRS spokeswoman had no comment on the entry or on why it was removed from the manual. Reuters recovered the previous editions from the archives of the Westlaw Legal Database, which is owned by Thomson Reuters Corporation, the parent of the news agency. As Reuters reported Monday, the Special Operations Division of the DEA funnels information from overseas NSA intercepts, domestic wiretaps, informants, and a large DEA database of telephone records to authorities nationwide to help them launch criminal investigations of Americans. Oh, good Lord. Between all of this going on, the collection of data and all these law enforcement related to federal groups with all this information, and then the non-law enforcement agencies and departments with all the data they're collecting and all the rules they're pushing out with the penalties and the fines, and then on top of that, Obamacare and all the information you have to supply with respect to your innermost secrets about your health, mental, physical, what have you. And then we just blink and move on. That's it. That's it. Now, Monday's Reuters report cited internal government documents that show that the law enforcement agents have been trained to conceal how such investigations truly began, to recreate the investigative trail to effectively cover up the original source of the information. Is that what the Bill of Rights permits? And what, am I going to get lectures from these former Bushies that everything's okay? Because this apparently happened in the Bush administration. Don't worry, what are you, right-wing nut? Defense attorneys and some former judges and prosecutors say that systematically hiding potential evidence from defendants violates the Constitution. Yes, it does. According to documents and interviews, agents use a procedure they call parallel construction to recreate the investigative trail, stating in affidavits or in court, for example, that an investigation began with a traffic infraction rather than a tip. You know, this is very uncomfortable to me. I'm not just talking about the substance of what I'm reporting to you, but to criticize the DEA, which is part of the Justice Department, and many wonderful, wonderful agents in the DEA who have nothing to do with this. These are orders that come on from on high that are imposed. The IRS document offers further detail on the parallel construction program. Quote, Special Operations Division has the ability to collect, collate, analyze, evaluate, and disseminate information and intelligence derived from worldwide multi-agency sources, including classified projects, the IRS document says. The SOD converts extremely sensitive information into usable leads and tips, which are then passed to the field offices for real-time enforcement activity against major international drug trafficking organizations. Well, clearly it's not just them. It's not limited to them under the rule. The IRS document, the 2005 document, focuses on tips that are classified and notes the Justice Department, closely guards the information provided with strict oversight and so forth. Now, the Justice Department itself is investigating. House Intelligence Committee Chair Mike Rogers, Republican, Michigan, expressed concern with the concept of parallel construction. Now, that'll be defended. That's the next. We're not on a slippery slope, ladies and gentlemen. This is an avalanche, and we're caught up in it. And there's a point at which everybody should be saying enough is enough. Stop. This is enough. Altering an evidence trail is what they're really talking about. Altering an evidence trail. I mean, we give terrorists more due process in Guantanamo Bay. So conservatives should be absolutely just fed up with this. A bloated federal government. This is exactly what you can expect from a bloated federal government. This is out of control. I will tell you this, once again, this was not occurring when I was at the Justice Department under Attorney General Meese in the Reagan administration. No way. We didn't have parallel construction. I never heard of it before.